I also lead the philanthropy and the community involvement initiatives here. This is such an important topic, and you being here today is absolutely critical so that we can help spread awareness and help show education throughout our community. Before we start, I'd like to give a little introduction to Fox World Travel. So Fox World Travel is the leader in travel services in everything from business travel, meeting management, incentives, and vacation travel. We pride ourselves on being third generation, family owned, and we are headquartered here in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. We find ourselves to be founded on authenticity and on exceptional professional services to our clients. We are striving to deliver outstanding traveler experiences to everyone we come in contact with, and we do that on the foundations of care, safety, and community. So with that in mind, we are proud to share with you that January is National Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and tomorrow, January 11th, is Human Trafficking Day. So we want to bring highlight to that, and as you walk around and see our associates here at Fox, you'll notice we're wearing blue today. Blue is the color most commonly associated with human trafficking. You're also going to notice that we're going to light up the outside of our building in January to show our ongoing support for what that means for Fox World Travel to be a leader in this global impact. Human trafficking is a growing concern for the travel industry. Every year, millions of people are impacted by being forced into slavery, being forced into domestic servitude, and into sexual exploitation. According to the Department of Transportation's Transportation Leaders Against Human Trafficking Impact Report, 27.6 million men, women, and children are currently victims of trafficking. At Fox World Travel, we recognize our unique role in creating impact education and tools to help serve our community. We are very passionate about educating our associates, our community members, and our travelers. So what does trafficking look like? You could be looking for things specifically through airports, hotels, restaurants, any other types of travel hubs, and you're going to be looking for things that really don't seem to fit. And these are things that any one of us in the community should be looking for and recognizing. 3 things to look for. Someone who seems disoriented. They potentially don't know where they are, where they're going, or what their travel routine should be. They don't have possession of their own documentation, their own identification, or anything of that realm. Or they might seem to be under the control or under the influence of somebody else, potentially even fearful to speak or to interact on their own. There's also a universal hand sign everyone should be aware of that helps us spot if somebody is looking for help. It's the palm open, thumb over, and the hand down, capturing that thumb. This is a universal sign for human trafficking, and this is the one way all of us can help to share what it means to prevent this, to make action when you see this. Today our goal is to educate you, our community, on what it means to be educated and where you can find those resources. At Fox, our commitment to making the travel industry safer is something that we pride ourselves on and something that we take very seriously. I'd like to introduce you to a partnership that we have with PACT, Protect All Children Against Trafficking, formerly known as ECPAT. With this collaboration with PACT, we have been doing this since 2019, and it really solidifies our leadership in the travel industry as being advocates against human trafficking. We also have a specific committee here at Fox dedicated to that. Monthly they meet to create education, awareness, and tools. PACT is also one of the cornerstone organizations of Fox Impact, our corporate philanthropy committee, investing in corporate social citizenship and investment in our communities. One of the tools that we've recently created is our Preventing Trafficking Toolkit. And this is something that allows for resources that help to provide educational resources from PACT, educational resources from the Homeland Security, as well as social media graphics, imagery, and a downloadable pocket guide that you can use. We've got a copy of each of that for you today. This toolkit is important for us to understand modern slavery, and this is accessible to anyone through our website. If you go to foxworldtravel.com/prevent-trafficking-toolkit. Again, our goal is to ensure travelers and community members have the resources they need to act, to create education, and to have vigilance against these crimes. So looking ahead, we're just 3 weeks away from a very big event here in Northeast Wisconsin, the 2025 draft in Green Bay. 3 weeks, I'm sorry. And what this does is this is going to bring hundreds of thousands of travelers to our community, going through our airports, into our hotels, and into our restaurants. This is an important opportunity for all of us to take that vigilance, to take that awareness, and to make impact. Unfortunately, large events like this also create the opportunity for traffickers to operate. So as we close out, I want to remind you of those 3 things to really be watching for. Someone who's disoriented, they don't know where they are or where they're going, somebody who seems fearful or seems to be under the control, and somebody without their documentation, as well as somebody potentially making this sign. This is a sign that needs action. Please act. You could be saving a life. As you leave today, you're going to notice that we are going to light up the outside of our building in blue. Again, that is the sign of hope, sign of awareness, and sign of support to help end human trafficking in Wisconsin. Together as a community, with awareness, with the tools to create action, we can send a strong message that human trafficking has no place in Wisconsin. Thank you.
Uh-oh. That was timed very nicely.
That was really good.
Ended with a bang. Any questions for Kelly right off the bat? Otherwise, we will open it up for individual interviews as well.
Can you just, what does human trafficking look like here in Northeast Wisconsin? And for the draft, are you expecting, you see on TV busloads of young girls being shipped in, or are these people in our community who are potentially already victims and are in situations that they can't get out of? How do you define human trafficking here in Northeast Wisconsin?
Human trafficking really can take so many different shapes and faces. It really can be silent human trafficking that we might not even see and is happening and is here locally and it's not leaving. It can be something where somebody is literally meeting up with somebody. We think about online teen behavior and safety. They're meeting with somebody they met online. It's not a safe situation and they are taken out of our state. There's so many different ways that this can have impact, that these tools and resources to have families go onto the website, take these courses, teach that online safety is absolutely impactful. The scarier part about that is 60% of kids who are impacted by this are having it start in the ages of 11 to 15.
So is there concern that these Johns, these pimps, I guess for lack of better terms, are stalking your 13-year-old daughter at the school bus stop? Is that what's happening here in Northeast Wisconsin?
I would say we traditionally have not gotten a great score in the state of Wisconsin. And that is something why Fox has really stepped up to take that stance to provide that education. The more we are vocal, the more we are upfront, and the more that we shout that from the rooftops, it will be something that prevents people from even wanting to come here to try it. But it does happen, and it's something that we can't stop without the awareness. So education, awareness, and action are key to this. And I would say, like anything else, you just don't know. So over safety and precaution and training yourself is absolutely key.
From a parent perspective, what can parents do to prevent trafficking and watch their kids, monitor what they're doing?
Absolutely. There is a tremendous amount of social media and even within the gaming community where kids are having conversations. They feel safer having conversations sometimes with a stranger because it avoids them having to ask for help from an adult that they know. So keep those lines of communication with your kids open. Find those tools that are out there online. Go to foxworldtravel.com to our trafficking toolkit. Download some of those tools. Go out to the PACT website. There are actual seminars that students can take to assess their ability on how safe are they online. Those are the kinds of things that we have to have open conversations with and make it a trusting environment for our kids.
And you've been doing this since 2019, I think, right?
Yes.
How much of an impact does the draft have on you bringing this more forward to people? How much of a concern is the draft? And
the draft being the draft isn't the topic. The topic is just the influx of people in general. And so this could happen with any of our large events that we have happening. It could be something as small as Oktoberfest downtown. It could be as big as EAA and draft. It's really just when we have an influx of people who are not traditionally here in the state of Wisconsin, it just opens the door to have a higher level of safety and awareness. We have been partnering with PAC since 2019 because we have seen that Wisconsin has not had that traditionally great record. So it's our commitment to help make that change.
When you refer to record, what are you referring to? And what do you have stats?
There are stats, and I apologize, I don't have that in front of me right now.
Okay.
It is in the news release, so you can reference it there. Thank you.
if somebody suspects trafficking, you're walking down the street and you see someone give you a sign or whatnot, other cues, what should that person do initially?
Yeah, so initially, and this really kind of goes into that toolkit that we have online, is we do share how you get to that phone number, and to have a toolkit like this in a pocket-sized card version that you can keep in your pocket, it really helps to remind you where you can go with that information first. Of course, if you're in a situation, it's really quick and urgent. 911 is always a quick way to get a message where it needs to go, but it is important to act. It is always important to act. Waiting and seeing is not the philosophy here.
Do you think people get a lot of perception of, they see something, but like, no, it can't be? That denial that everybody kind of sort of gets. How do you kind of advise people to go beyond that and say, I should say something?
Yeah, I can speak personally. I am the mother of an 11 and 13-year-old kid, and I'll tell you what, I treat every situation like that was my own kid. And this isn't just youth as well. I mean, this goes everywhere from 11 up to 24 years old is really the target demo, but it can go beyond. It can go beyond girls, although that is the primary area. It does have transgender connotations. Boys and men are also targeted, so it really could be anyone, so you just can't be too cautious. Always ask the question.
As an organization that sends people around the country or the world, are you getting contact from policing organizations, giving you warnings? What does it look like for Wisconsin?
So are you asking when we travel out?
Yeah.
So we do monitor safety ratings throughout the different countries and areas that we're traveling to all of the time. That is something that we do as our due diligence as travel experts. And we do make sure to talk to everybody when we go traveling. What are things you should be watchful for? We always say you can never guarantee safety, but you always treat every situation like you're in a scenario that you just need to be vigilant of. So you always want to be aware of your surroundings. You always want to know who you're talking to. You always want to know where your personal items are. And just being extra cautious no matter where you are. It really doesn't matter the safety rating of a country or a city. It's truly something that can be happening in any small town across the country, across the world.
Colleen, since you do a lot of the traveling, do you want to speak to that
I would love to bring
too?
you up.
Yeah.
Can you start by saying your name? And
Sure.
how it was-
My name is Colleen Alsberg. I've been with Fox, it'll be 30 years in July. I work in the group department at Fox World Travel, so I take groups throughout literally hundreds of people all year long. And I am also a member of the PAC committee. So as part of the PAC committee, I thought it would be beneficial for me to be involved just because the amount of people that I take with me on trips. This coming year I've got 7 trips. It'll be over close to 300-400 people that I'll be traveling with. And that gives me 600 eyes instead of just my 2. Or when we're doing business travel, you have 2 sets of eyes on something. This puts a lot of people in aware. We put our phone number, the human trafficking phone number, in our phones. Even if you're just a little bit concerned, and it does not hurt to call that number just to voice your concerns. They won't, it's not like a 911 call. That's not important. It's going to be just something that you feel that you should do. Just to, if you can prevent one trafficking incident, that's the thing to do. And don't feel uncomfortable about calling human trafficking.
Being a traveling agency, you all mentioned that you're seeing a growing concern for trafficking within the industry. I guess, can you speak on some of the things that you might have seen here at home personally?
I have not witnessed it personally myself, but there are times that I'm always very vigilant, especially when I have groups. I usually pick them up on a coach, take them to Chicago, we fly out. I let them know about the situation that I'm in, being part of the committee, and then I make them aware that if you see anything, especially on airplanes, if you notice you're sitting near someone that looks very uncomfortable, they're not allowed out of their seats, things like that. I talk to my clients about that to make sure that they are aware of what could be happening and let somebody know, even if it's as simple as letting a flight attendant know. But personally, I've not seen anything, thank God, but I'm always vigilant, and I want my clients to be as vigilant as well.
Do you know if any of your clients have seen anything that have gone through?
Me not personally. I would imagine that there might have been something. I know the stats are kind of low for Wisconsin, but I think there's a lot of underreported items as well. So it's probably happening and people just aren't aware about it yet. And so that's why we're here, to make it more strong, a stronger awareness about this
And
situation.
we have received feedback from associates that have received our training. We do train 100% of our associate base every single year in what they need to know about human trafficking. And we have had some reports here at Fox that some of our associates who have gone through that training have had an impact. They've seen a suspicious incident that they have had the opportunity to report.
Any other questions? Okay. We will still allow individual interviews if anybody would like them. But yes, if you guys want to grab your microphones. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Colleen.
Yeah, you're welcome. Nice job. Thank you.